Good morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, sir.
So, good morning to all. As part of our syllabus, today we are going to discuss about our Parliament of India. As per the syllabus, we are having this topic at 7th unit. So, topic name is Parliament. So, are you aware of our Parliament? So, here, as per our as part of our syllabus, we have here composition of the parliament and qualification disqualification of members of the parliament, and also we are having here powers and functions of the parliament, Indian parliament. So first we have to go through introduction and the background of the framing of this parliamentary form of system. So here this parliamentary form of system we have borrowed from the Britain constitution, means we adopted this type of parliamentary system from the Britain tradition. So here we are having this parliament system with two houses, one that is Lok Sabha and another one is Rajya Sabha. So these both houses are exercise their powers to responsible for the entire nation. So in our constitution, in the part 5, from article 79 to 123, we have detailed information about this parliament structure, powers and functions of the parliament, and also framing of the such laws like general bills and budget, etc. So also we are having this structure of parliament and powers and functions of the parliament. So here we are having a federal form of system. We are having federal form of system means we are having both governments at central level, one government, at state level, one more government. So we are having two governments, and the two governments at a time work with the cooperation. So the powers and functions has been distributed between the center and state governments according to the Constitution of India. So we have been divided powers between the center and the state. So which one is belongs to center and which one is belong to state government. So like that, according to the constitution, so we have constitutionally divided those powers between the two levels of the government. So majority of the powers belongs to the central government only, and also in case of emergency time, the entire state administration also goes to the hands of the central government, that is Indian Parliament. So in case of emergency, national emergency or state emergency, means president's rule, at that time that state's administration will be maintained by the Parliament of India in the name of President of India. So here we are having this type of parliamentary system. We are having Lok Sabha, we are having Rajya Sabha. So according to the 79, according to the article 79 says that there shall be a parliament for the union. So which the parliament means, we have to know meaning of the parliament. Here, according to the Constitution of India, parliament means the president, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the consist of president and both houses of the parliament called as a parliament. It means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha plus President of India called as a parliament. So here Rajya Sabha means the council of states are upper house. We will call it as upper house or council of states or Rajya Sabha. Here Lok Sabha we will call it as a house of the people or the lower house or Lok Sabha. So the president is a neither a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but he is considered as integral part of the constitution, integral part of the parliament. According to the Constitution of India, the President of India also in the part of Parliament. So this is because all the bills are passed by the Parliament just in the name of President of India. In case in state governments, all the bills passed in the name of governor. So like that, the President of India is the nominal head of the government here in our Indian Constitution. According to our Indian Constitution, in our parliamentary system, the nominal head of the government is the President of India, and the actually original head of the government means the Prime Minister of India. So the all the powers and distribution of powers between the ministers, all the goes to in the hands of the Prime Minister only, but he exercises his powers in the name of President of India. So here the part of our syllabus, in both houses, there will be presiding officers will be there, and also before we are going to discuss about those presiding officers and the powers and functions of the parliament, we have to know the minimum qualifications of the members of the parliament. Means member of parliament means here we are having both houses. One is Lok Sabha and another one is Rajya Sabha. So first we are going to discuss about the qualifications of members of Lok Sabha or House of the People. So the House of the People is the lower house of the Indian Parliament. So here in our Constitution under Article 81 deals with the composition of maximum strength of the House is 552 members. Here at present strength of the Lok Sabha is 545. According to the Constitution of India, the maximum number of the members of Lok Sabha is 552. From 552, 530 members are represent from the states and 20 members to represent from the union territories, and 2 members to be nominated by the president from the Anglo-Indian category or Anglo-Indian community. So the present strength of the Lok Sabha is 545 members. In 545 members, 525 members are representing from the states and 18 members are representing from the union territories. Out of this, the president feels that the Anglo-Indian community is not fairly represented. He could nominate 2 persons from that Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha. The members are elected directly by the people on the basis of single member constituency or territorial representation and universal adult suffrage. Means here for every 5 years we are electing our Lok Sabha members. So in general elections. So if we discuss about the qualifications of Lok Sabha members, that is the elections of the Lok Sabha are held on the basis of universal adult franchise, in which any citizen of India is eligible to cast his vote to elect Lok Sabha member. Here there is no discrimination. There is no discrimination to cast their vote in case of on the basis of religion, region, race, caste, gender, etc., place of birth. There is no discrimination. All the adults, means those who are completing 18 years, they have right to get vote, and they can cast their vote to the to election of the public representatives in case of local governments, in case of state governments, in case of central government. Means he can elect from the grassroots level, from Sarpanch, ward member or MLA or MP. He can cast his vote to select as per his wish. So here, if we discuss about the minimum basic qualifications of the members of the Lok Sabha, that is, he must be a citizen of India. He must be a citizen of India, and also he must complete 25 years of age. If you want to contest as a member of Lok Sabha, you have to be a citizen, and also you have must complete 25 years of age, and also he or she has resided in the constituency for a minimum period of at least as per the law. So, and also he should not or otherwise be disqualified to become member of Lok Sabha, or he should not hold any office or any government, he should not pose any government employment either in the central government or state government. And also he should subscribe the whole allegiance to the Constitution of India and uphold unity and integrity of the country. So these qualifications are the minimum qualifications to contest or to participate in the election. Means to contest means he can, if you want to elect as a MP, you must have these qualifications. So, and also according to the Article 83 of the Constitution, the normal fixed tenure, fixed term means if anybody or the Lok Sabha, that minimum tenure is 5 years. Means normal life of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. Though if in case of there is a lack of majority or in case of any other reason, the house may be dissolved before of its expiry of 5 years. So the president or normal term of the house may be extended by an act passed by the parliament during the operation of internal emergency under Article 352 of the Constitution. So in normal times, there is only 5 years tenure for the Lok Sabha Parliament. So if we discuss about these Lok Sabha sessions, the President of India, on the advice of the Prime Minister, he can summon, he can prorogue, as well as he can dissolve the House. So, but according to the Article 85 of the Constitution of India, 6 months shall not intervene between the two sessions. So here we are having 3 sessions, that is 3 times means budget session from February to April, and monsoon session from July to August, and winter session from November to December. So we are having 3 sessions per year as present time. So according to the Constitution, there is no gap between the 6 months for a session. So here the president have right to summon or right to dissolve or right to prorogue the entire sessions. So between any 3 sessions. So here the sessions time must be decided by the leader of the Lok Sabha. So in case of, adjournment means the temporary suspension of sitting of the House. This is the decision of the Speaker. Adjournment does not end the session. So prorogation means it is the act of terminating the parliamentary session. Means this is the presidential act on the advice tendered by his council of ministers. So dissolution means the complete dissolution of the House on the expiry of the term or on the advice of the council of ministers. So here if we discuss about this oath of the members of the Lok Sabha, that is the oath should be done by the pro tem speaker who is selected by the President of India, can take oath from the newly elected members of Lok Sabha. So after that, from the members of the Lok Sabha, they may elect one member as a Speaker of the House. If we discuss about the functions and speakers powers of the Speaker, according to the Constitution, we have borrowed from these system from British House of Commons. So the Speaker exercises his powers and functions partly under the Constitution and partly under the rules of procedure of the House. So uh, here his foremost duty is to see that there is decorum and discipline in the House is conducted in an orderly manner and in accordance with the minister of the House. In the House, when the speaker stands, all the members supposed to sit and listen to him patiently. All the members are supposed to address him only while participating in the debate. So here in this Lok Sabha, all the bills passed by House are authenticated by his signature before they are sent to the Council of States for its consideration to the President for that, and that Rajya Sabha can't delay its passage beyond 14 days. After the acceptance, after the approval of the Lok Sabha, that bill goes to the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha should accept or reject within the period of 14 days. In case of budget, there is no right to reject that bill. They can suggest, they can give ideas, they can give modifications to any bill, but they cannot reject in case of that bill belongs to the money bill or budget bill. In case of normal ordinary bills, they may suggest, they may give ideas to modification in that particular bill. So here the speaker certifies whether a particular bill is a money bill or non-money bill. So the authority is in the hands of the Speaker of Lok Sabha. This is the important because money bills can't be introduced in Rajya Sabha directly. The Rajya Sabha can't delay these money bills too. So first money bills should be introduced in the Lok Sabha only. Here the speaker decides about the admissibility of resolutions, questions, motions, and also he decides what time should to be allotted to each item in the agenda. So here the speaker also has right only authority to decide who shall hold the floor and the speak. The speaker is expected to the judicious conduct of debates, and also as a presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, he conducts its proceedings. He does not participate in the deliberation of the House except in the discharge of his duties. Usually the speaker will not cast his vote, but during ties, in case of the majority is tie, he can use his casting and also speaker exercise a casting vote to resolve the deadlock. Means he can approve or he can reject like that. So the speaker is the custodian of rights and privileges of the members of the Lok Sabha. His authority in the proceedings of the House and over the galleries is final. So no persons can enter in the House or galleries without his permission. And also the speaker presides over the joint sittings of the House of the Parliament. The speaker has the power to recognize parties and groups in the House of the people, means Lok Sabha. In case of joint session means if there is any tie between any general bill or ordinary bill, the speaker can decide to meet as a joint session. At that time, he will be act as a presiding officer of that joint session. So the speaker nominates chairman and members of various parliamentary committees too. And also he is expected to see that all the shades of opinion have representation in this committee. So no arrest or any other type of warrant can be issued of any executive authority or any member of the parliament without his prior permission. Within the four walls of the House, information about arrest, bail, or release of a member should be immediately sent to him. So the resignation of the members has to be sent to the speaker only. He has the power to accept or not to accept of resignation of any member of Lok Sabha. The speaker is the head of the Lok Sabha secretariat. The secretariat staff of the house functions directly under the control of the speaker. So this is the powers of the Lok Sabha speaker. Here, the speaker of the Lok Sabha has immense responsibilities and powers as well. But the speaker can discharge his duties and responsibilities only when he joins the confidence of the house, including the opposition parties. In case of there is absence of speaker, there will be deputy speaker will be there. The deputy speaker will hold his functions. So in case of absence of this speaker, the speaker is the ex officio president of the Indian Parliamentary Group. So the speaker of the Lok Sabha is the ex officio president of the Indian Parliamentary Group. So if we discuss about the meetings of the Lok Sabha, there must be a quorum. Quorum means according to the 42nd constitutional amendment, Parliament later in 44th constitutional amendment, this procedure modified and removed from the constitution. Now, generally, if Lok Sabha wants to meet for a session, there must be 10% of Lok Sabha members should be there to meet for session. So that is the quorum. 10% of the members should attend for the session. That will we will call it as a quorum of the session. So here we have powers and functions of Lok Sabha, or we can call it as powers and functions of the Parliament too. Here we have legislative powers. Legislative powers means the Parliament has right to create any law or create any bill in the regard of welfare of the people who are living in the country. So the non-monetary or ordinary bills can be introduced in the either house of the Parliament. So ordinary bills or money bills can introduced in any house, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But money bills can be introduced in Lok Sabha only, as we discussed in the powers of the speaker. He has the right to decide whether it is money bill or whether it is non-money bill. So money bills can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So with regard to money bill, the upper house cannot reject or amend in by virtue of any powers, its own powers. Rajya Sabha cannot modify, cannot reject the money bills. Upper house means Rajya Sabha. Upper house means Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha must return it within the 14 days without any comments on that money bill. In case of bill is not returned within 14 days, it is treated as to have been passed by the upper house. In case of Rajya Sabha delay to send that bill within the 14 days of the maximum time, it will be treated as a acceptance or treated as passed by the Rajya Sabha. So then Lok Sabha will approve it and send to the President of India. In case of non-money bills, in case of non-money bills, ordinary bills, if there is a disagreement between two houses, the President may summon or President can suggest to a joint sitting of both houses to settle the differences between both houses. In addition to this, the Lok Sabha can also legislate on concurrent list and residuary powers. These powers will be discussed in next class. So in the part of these legislative powers, the Parliament has these powers. And also it is the the parliament means the Lok Sabha is the important organ of the central government. So central executive means the constitution makes the council of ministers individually and collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. It can remain the power as long as it enjoys the confidence of the majority of the house. According to these principle only, the prime minister elected. Those who are getting majority in the Lok Sabha, any political party, in case of political party, after the general elections, those who are getting majority, they may form government on the basis of this majority principle. So as soon as confidence is lost, the ministers and the government supposed to resign. Apart from this, House controls the executive by using question hour or by moving calling attention motion, by moving adjournment motion, criticize the executive during debates 0 hour, and by moving no confidence motion too. No confidence motion means the opposition can introduce that to no confidence motion in case of they have they have confidence about there is lack of confidence on government. So at that time they can introduce no confidence motion. When a no confidence motion is passed by the house, the entire ministry or entire the government is expected to resign. That can fall down from the majority rule. So at that time there must be president suggest all the can direct to the all the political parties to prove their majority. In case of there is no majority between any political party or any coalition party, so they may go for the elections. So here the executive is the important organ of the Lok Sabha, and also here we are having these functions. So we are having financial powers too. The Lok Sabha has financial powers also. It includes enactment of budget, means preparation of budget or scrutinizing the performance of government with respect of financial spending through financial committees. Within this budget, the government is responsible for the budget. So in this budget, the government is the government is exercises its powers to create any new tax system or modify any old tax system, and also they can restrict on government to debts, and also they can create public accounts committee to review the government accounts, and also they can review the reports of expenditure of governments. So in this part of financial powers, the government has control over the financial powers through the parliament, means Lok Sabha. Being a custodian of Lok Sabha, custodian of national finance, it controls contingency fund of India, and also it can borrow money from the foreign nations. It empowers the RBI to raise loans from the Indian public, and also decides about the taxes which should be levied, and those already in forces should be reduced or abolished. The sanctioning of the expenditure in the exclusive privileges of the House of the People. This is the financial powers of the Lok Sabha. So first of all, in this power of the financial powers, the money bill can be decided by the, whether it is money bill or non-money bill, decided by the speaker, and it can be introduced in this Lok Sabha only. So this is the financial powers of the Lok Sabha. And also we are having some electoral functions also. apart from this financial powers, in this election of the president, vice president, and the House has a significant role. The elected members of the Lok Sabha are the part of election of the President of India, and also and the part of election of the Vice President of India. So it also elects the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and panel of chairmen to preside over its meetings, and members of and chairmen of various parliamentary committees. So this is the electoral or election procedure within the Lok Sabha for the maintenance of the this administrative system. And also here we are having judicial powers of the Lok Sabha. In this part of judicial powers, the House of the People means the Lok Sabha can enjoy some judicial powers, which means it sits as a court of law when it discusses motion of the for the removal of judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, or disposes of a motion of the impeachment against the President of India. Impeachment means the removal process of the President of India within the duration of President of India. President of India's tenure is 5 years. Before that, if Parliament decides to remove from this position, or the President of India acts and violates the Constitution of India, this procedure is the removal procedure from the position of the President of India. At that time, Lok Sabha has a important role on this process. So its approval is also necessary for the removal of Vice President too. In case of President or Vice President, the Lok Sabha is the integral part of this impeachment process of the both President and Vice President. And also here Lok Sabha is having some diplomatic powers. In this process, the executive enters into international treaties from time to time. These treaties cast certain obligations on the people of India. It is the responsibility of the Lok Sabha to ensure that adequate steps are taken to see that their obligations are fully discharged. And also the Lok Sabha has a special power, that is constitutional amendment system. According to the Article 368, the Parliament has right to amend Constitution. But here one important principle is there. The Parliament has right to amend, but should not violate or should not violate the principle of basic structure of the Constitution, basic structure of the preamble. The Parliament has right to amend any part of the Constitution, but according to this article, we are having a basic structure formula for our Constitution of India. In that way, the Parliament has right to amend the Constitution, but should not violate that basic structure formula. And also here some of advisory functions also there for this Lok Sabha. It had investigatory powers on certain occasions, like the House of the People with the Council of the States constitute some investigatory commissions to inquire into serious scandals or frauds or any other grave situations. And also the Parliament provides to the Cabinet and the advice of the ministers in various issues. This is done particularly by the Parliament consultative committees attached to various ministers. And also the House performs an important function of removing and ventilating the grievance of the people. The members are supposed to be contact with the electorate and listen to their grievances and problems. During the sessions, they draw attention to these problems on the floor of the house and try to find solutions. We can observe at question hour in general sessions, the members of Lok Sabha can raise their voice with these current issues or problems of the people on time to time. So this is the structure and powers and functions of the Lok Sabha. Now we are going to discuss about the Council of States or Rajya Sabha. Here, the Council of States is the upper house of the Indian Parliament. It constituted by 250 members, of which 238 elected by the indirect method, and 12 members are nominated by the President of India amongst persons having special knowledge and practical experience in such ways like literature, science and technology, and also arts and social sciences. So this house represents the units of the Indian Federation. You have to observe that there is a difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in this election procedure of members of these houses. In Lok Sabha, in case of Lok Sabha, all the members except two members, that category from Anglo Indians, apart from all the members are directly elected by the people. Here in case of Rajya Sabha, all the members are elected by indirect election. Indirect elections means here our elected, those who are elected by the people like MLAs, MLCs are elect their MPs for the Rajya Sabha. So here, according to the Article 80 says this structure of Rajya Sabha. So according to the Article 80, there is a maximum members are 250. So at present, we are having 245 members in the Lok Sabha. In this 245, 229 are indirectly elected by the states, and 4 members are indirectly elected by the union territories, and 12 members are nominated by the President of India. Now we are having 245 members in the Rajya Sabha. If we discuss about the qualifications of the Rajya Sabha members, here also same qualifications will be there, but some changes will be there, like age or other issues. So he must be a citizen of India, and also he must completed 30 years of age. In case of Lok Sabha, 25 years. In case of Rajya Sabha, 30 years is the age criteria to participate, to contest in the election. So he should have, he should not hold any office, means he should not be a employee, he should not be any employment in any category or in me, which means state government or central government or any government funded institution. So he should not have been declared unqualified for membership by any court of law, and also he should be an elected for a parliamentary constituency of the state from which he seeks selection to the Rajya Sabha. This is the qualification. So the almost same qualifications is there for the election of both houses, but age criteria is different from the one to another. So for Lok Sabha, 25 years of age should be there. For Rajya Sabha, 30 years of age must have completed by the contestant. So the term of the Rajya Sabha also different from the Lok Sabha. Here, the Rajya Sabha called as a permanent chamber. It is not subject to dissolution as in the case of Lok Sabha. One third of its members retire every 2 years, and the same chamber will be elected. After election of each member enjoys 6 years term. So the term of the Rajya Sabha is 6 years, but we will call it as a permanent chamber. So every 2 years. Every 2 years, 1/3 members of the Rajya Sabha will retire. Means they will hold their office for 6 years, but here the Rajya Sabha continuously going on. Means 1/3 will retire, remaining 2/3 will be hold their office at that time. Newly 1/3 will come, and there should be again after 2 years from these 2/3 members 1/3 will be retired. So that's what we will call it as a permanent chamber. In case of sessions of the Rajya Sabha, same sessions will applicable for both houses, convened simultaneously, as we discussed, as 3 sessions. One is budget session from February to April, and second one is monsoon, July to August, and winter session is November to December. So these same sessions will be convened simultaneously. So by the President of India's advice and also Council of Ministers advice, the sessions of the both houses are convened simultaneously. So here in Rajya Sabha, like Lok Sabha Speaker, here presiding officer will be there. The meetings of the Rajya Sabha are presided over by the Vice President of India. Here you have to observe the Lok Sabha Speaker is elected among the members of Lok Sabha. But here in Rajya Sabha, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha is completely different from that selection. Here the Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Since the Vice President is not a member of Rajya Sabha or not a member of this Rajya Sabha, but he enjoys no voting power. Here there is a difference. For Lok Sabha Speaker, he has right to vote. He has right to cast his vote when ties that bill. Here, the Rajya Sabha, in case of Rajya Sabha, the presiding officer or the chairman of Rajya Sabha is having no voting power, but he can use his casting vote in case of deadlock. So there is a difference. Only when ties a bill, he can cast his vote to resolve that issue. So as a presiding officer of the house, he is required to maintain decorum and discipline in the house. He recognizes the members of the floor, decides points of order, puts questions, and announces results. Any items in the houses can be discussed only with his permission. So he enjoys an exalted position. In the absence of the chairman, the house elects a deputy chairman. So you have to remind that there will be the speaker, deputy speaker, completely elected from the house. Here, only deputy chairman. In Rajya Sabha, only deputy chairman is elected from the members of Rajya Sabha. So when both the chairman and vice chairman are not available to preside the session, available member from the panel of chairman presides this session. So in case of functions and powers of Rajya Sabha is different from the Lok Sabha. Here, Rajya Sabha being the upper house does not possess co-equal powers with the Lok Sabha in many matters. No money bill originate in the Rajya Sabha. If a money bill is passed by the Lok Sabha, it will be transmitted to the Rajya Sabha with the certificate of the speaker. The Rajya Sabha can only delay for a period of 14 days. As we discussed in Lok Sabha powers, a money bill not returned within that period, that will be treated as passed by this Rajya Sabha. So there is limited powers. There is limited powers in limited powers means there is no powers on these money bills for the Rajya Sabha. With regard to ordinary bills, in case of ordinary or general bills, it can be originated in the Rajya Sabha, and if it approves, the bill will be transmitted to the Lok Sabha. If a ordinary bill originated in the Lok Sabha, after its approval that will be transmitted to the Rajya Sabha, the Rajya Sabha can only the power to delay on an ordinary bill approved by the Lok Sabha for a period of 6 months. We have to remind this. In case of ordinary bill, passed by the Lok Sabha and transmitted to the Rajya Sabha, the Rajya Sabha has the only power to delay an ordinary bill for the period of 6 months. So if there is a disagreement, a joint session will be convened to solve the deadlock. As we discussed, the president has the right to arrange this joint session to resolve the particular issue. So in case of joint sitting, the position of Rajya Sabha is weak because of the numerical strength of the Lok Sabha. So here, half of the members only there with the comparison of Lok Sabha. In case of controlling the executive, the position of Rajya Sabha also weak because the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible for to the Lok Sabha. So they're present in the Rajya Sabha. Pilot bills answer questions. They could not removed by the Rajya Sabha by passing a no confidence motion. No confidence motion also can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So both houses has equal power in constant function, approval of election of the president, vice president, impeachment of the president, removal of the judges of Supreme Court and High Court, and also that of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So in certain case, Rajya Sabha has executive rights since it represents the states. With a resolution of 2/3 majority can suggest to transfer a particular subject under the state list, either to the central list or concurrent list. These lists will be discussed in next class. So here, and also the Rajya Sabha is having a special power in case of by 2/3 majority of the Rajya Sabha, it can pass a resolution for creating an all India service. If it feels that such a service is essential and needed in the national interest, the position of Rajya Sabha is the Rajya Sabha can create the particular new service in the all India service. Here, the position of Rajya Sabha is not similar to that of British House of Lords, which is the weakest chamber in the world, but not compatible to the American Senate, which is the most powerful and second chamber in the American Senate. So it comes a middle of two upper houses in case of American Senate. So also he has, as we discussed, a special power in the creation of new All India service under Article 312. So this is the powers of functions of Rajya Sabha. So if we discuss about role of Parliament, there is important role of this Parliament in case of Lok Sabha. After discussion of these both houses powers and functions of the Parliament, the Indian Parliament remains that in entire the world, the Indian Parliament is one of the biggest system, though as we borrowed from the British Constitution, but here different from this implementation and exercise its powers. There is a lot of differences between the British Parliament and Indian Parliament. So Parliament like a ornamental body means it has the constitutional responsibility to stand as a forum of public opinion. The members of the parliament, irrespective of their status of being in the ruling party or in the opposition party, shall have to play a dynamic role in enhancing the prestige of their respective houses by involving themselves in deliberations with high sense of commitment and responsibility. But the fact in that the Indian Parliament has taken only few steps in translating the great expectations so into reality. One has to browse the role played the members of the Parliament only to find that basic lawmaking function has ceased to be even the most important of its functions, either qualitatively or quantitatively. An overview of development of parliamentary institutions since the first Lok Sabha reveals most disturbing facts, even that it had played somewhat effective in the early years. So now, now its position become even different from the initial stages of this parliament. So there is lot of differences from time to time, a lot of modifications also there from time to time. So the Indian Parliament is the one of the important organ according to the Constitution of India. It is the important for the lawmaking procedure, lawmaking system for the welfare of the people. So I will send a PDF. Those who are not got textbook, someone texted in the chat. You can send a message to this number. I will share this PDF. So this is the syllabus of our parliamentary system in Unit 7. On next class, we are going to discuss about president, election of the president, and also powers of the President of India, powers and functions of the President of India. Is there any doubts from this chapter? You may ask from today's session.
Sir, powers and functions of Speaker of Lok Sabha lo oka point doubt undi sir. Adentante fixes the agenda of the meeting of the House after the Constitution with the Business Advisory Committee and Prime Minister. ఆ పాయింట్ కొంచెం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయరా సార్?
ఓకే, బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీ అనేది ఆఫ్టర్ ది ఎలక్షన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ మెంబర్స్ ఆఫ్ లోక్ సభ, ఇన్ కేస్ రాజ్యసభ, ఇన్ కేస్ లోక్ సభ, ఇన్ కేస్ మీరు స్టేట్ అసెంబ్లీలో చూసుకున్నా కూడా ఈ సెషన్ నడవడం కోసం బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీ అనేది ఒకటి ఏర్పాటు అవుతుంది. దానిలో ఎవరు మెంబర్స్ గా ఉంటారంటే రూలింగ్ పార్టీ నుంచి ఉంటారు, ఆల్ ద పార్టీ లీడర్స్. మనం ఇప్పుడు ఏం చెప్పుకుంటామంటే ఫ్లోర్ లీడర్ అని చెప్పుకుంటున్నాం కదా, ప్రతి పార్టీ నుంచి ఫ్లోర్ లీడర్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాం. వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మెంబర్స్ గా ఉంటారు. ఇన్ కేసు ఒకటే మెంబర్ ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి ఒక పార్టీ నుంచి, తను కూడా బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీలో మెంబర్ గా ఉంటాడు. రూలింగ్ పార్టీ మెంబర్స్ ఒకరిద్దరు ఉంటారు, స్పీకర్ దానికి చైర్ ఉంటాడు ఆ బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీలో. వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఆ కమిటీ మొత్తం కూడా సెషన్ ఎన్ని రోజులు నడిపించాలి, ఏం డిస్కషన్స్ చేయాలనేది ఒక ఎజెండాను ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తారు. దాన్నే బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీ అంటారు. దానికోసం గవర్నమెంట్ తరఫున ఒక మినిస్టర్ కూడా ఉంటాడు కదా, శాసనసభ వ్యవహారాల మంత్రి అనుకుంటాం కదా, మినిస్టర్ ఫర్ లెజిస్లేటివ్ అఫైర్స్ ఆర్ పార్లమెంట్ అఫైర్స్ అని ఒక మినిస్టర్ ఉంటాడు. అతను ఆధ్వర్యం లోపల ఈ బిజినెస్ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీ అనేది పనిచేస్తుంటది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూడండి, సెషన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఎవరినైనా సస్పెండ్ చేయాలన్నా, సభ నుంచి బయటికి పంపించాలన్నా కూడా స్పీకర్ ఆధ్వర్యంలో ఈ కమిటీ డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది.
ఓకే సార్. ఇంకోటి లా మేకింగ్ ప్రొసీజర్ లో ఫస్ట్ రీడింగ్, సెకండ్ రీడింగ్, థర్డ్ రీడింగ్ అని ఉంది సార్, అది ఎలా సార్?
లా మేకింగ్ లో ఫస్ట్ రీడింగ్ అంటే ఇవి ఎట్లా అంటే, ఫస్ట్ డ్రాఫ్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో ఫస్ట్ పర్టికులర్ మినిస్టర్ ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో అది ఏ మినిస్ట్రీకి సంబంధించిన బిల్ అయితే వాళ్ళు కంప్లీట్ గా కేవలం చదువుతారు ఫస్ట్ రీడ్ లో. సెకండ్ రీడ్కి వచ్చేసరికి దానిలో ఏమన్నా చేంజెస్ మనకి ఎక్కడ ఇచ్చిర్రు, అది దీనిలోనే ఉందా? లా మేకింగ్ 7.9. మీరు ఎక్కడ చూసారు? అది మన బుక్ లోనే ఇచ్చారా?
నా దగ్గర ఒక మామూలుగా టెస్ట్ పేపర్ ఉంది సార్, అందులో ఉంది సార్ క్వశ్చన్.
ఓకే, ఆ ఫస్ట్ రీడ్ సెకండ్ రీడ్ ఏంటంటే జనరల్ గా బిల్ ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేసేటప్పుడు వచ్చేసి కేవలం వీళ్ళు థరోలీ చదువుతారు. ఫస్ట్ మినిస్టర్ బిల్ ను మొత్తం చదివిన తర్వాత అడుగుతాడు ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ కానీ క్వైరీస్ కానీ ఏమన్నా సజెషన్స్ కానీ అడిగి దాన్ని యాడ్ చేసుకొని మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చదువుతాడు. దాని తర్వాత ఈ చేంజెస్ కోసమే, మాడిఫికేషన్స్ కోసమే తలా ఒక కాపీ, మెంబర్స్ అందరికి కూడా తలా ఒక కాపీ ఇచ్చి అతను చదువుతుంటే వీళ్ళు చూస్తుంటారు. ఏమన్నా మాడిఫికేషన్స్ ఉంటే మధ్యలోనే ఇంటరప్ట్ అయ్యి కూడా వాళ్ళు మాడిఫికేషన్స్ చేయించి ఫైనల్ గా ఈ అన్ని రీడింగ్లు అయిపోయిన తర్వాత డిస్కషన్ ఉంటుంది. డిస్కషన్ లోపల మళ్ళీ చేంజెస్, మళ్ళీ ఏమన్నా చేంజెస్ కావాలనుకుంటే కూడా వాళ్ళు చేయొచ్చు. తర్వాత దానిపైన ఓటింగ్ పెడతారు.
నెక్స్ట్ పబ్లిక్ బిల్స్, ప్రైవేట్ బిల్స్, ఆర్డినరీ బిల్స్, మనీ బిల్స్. ఆర్డినరీ బిల్స్ కి మనీ బిల్స్ కి ప్రొసీజర్ ఉంది సార్. పబ్లిక్ బిల్స్, ప్రైవేట్ బిల్స్ ఎక్కడ పాస్ చేస్తారో దాని ప్రొసీజర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది సార్?
పబ్లిక్ బిల్ అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేసేటటువంటి బిల్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో దాన్ని పబ్లిక్ బిల్ అంటారు. ప్రైవేట్ బిల్ అంటే నాన్ గవర్నమెంట్ మెంబర్, ఏ మెంబర్ అన్నా ఇండివిజువల్ మెంబరు ఒక బిల్లుని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తే దాన్ని ప్రైవేట్ బిల్ గా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తారు. అతడు అపోజిట్ పార్టీ మెంబర్ కావచ్చు, ఎనీ ఇండిపెండెంట్ పార్టీ మెంబర్ కెన్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ దట్ ప్రైవేట్ బిల్. పబ్లిక్ బిల్ ఖచ్చితంగా పాస్ అవుతుంది, ఎందుకంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది మెజారిటీలో ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి బిల్ వితౌట్ కన్సెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ అపోజిషన్ పార్టీ దే కెన్ పాస్ దట్ బిల్. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రైవేట్ బిల్ కి మెజారిటీ దొరకదు. 2/3 మెంబర్స్ అప్రూవ్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ గవర్నమెంట్ సపోజ్ డు నాట్ సపోర్ట్ టు దట్ ప్రైవేట్ బిల్. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే ఆ బిల్ కనుక పాస్ అయితే, ప్రైవేట్ బిల్ కనుక పాస్ అయితే గవర్నమెంట్ రిజైన్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ పబ్లిక్ అండ్ ప్రైవేట్ బిల్.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
సార్ యూ మే ఆస్క్ సార్. సార్ మీకు యాక్చువల్లీ ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ విత్ కౌన్సిలింగ్, కాంటాక్ట్ విత్ కౌన్సిలింగ్ క్లాసెస్ జరిగింది ఫిజికల్ గా. దాంట్లో వచ్చి చాలా మంచి సార్ వచ్చి మంచి మేడం వాళ్ళు మంచిగా మనకు క్వశ్చన్స్ కానీ అవి మాకు ఐడెంటిఫై చేసుకున్నట్లుగా, అంటే ఇది ఎగ్జామినేషన్ మీరు రావచ్చు అనేసి వాళ్ళు చెప్పారు. అది అంటే ఇంచుమించు దగ్గరగా మంచి క్వశ్చన్స్ కాంటాక్ట్ అయ్యింది, మేము మంచిగా స్కోర్ కూడా చేసాము. అంటే సెకండ్ సెమిస్టర్ ఇప్పుడు రీసెంట్ గా ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే మాకు ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ కానీ కాంటాక్ట్ కన్సల్టింగ్ క్లాసెస్ కానీ ఏం జరగలేదు. సో కొంచెం సజెషన్ ఇస్తారా సార్? ఏదైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ మీరు ఏదైనా సజెస్ట్ చేస్తారా సార్?
అంటే ఈ సెమిస్టర్ కోసం అంటున్నారా మీరు?
సెకండ్ సెమిస్టర్ సార్, సెకండ్
సెమ్ కోసం ఏమన్నా ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతున్నారా? ఓకే, నేను ఆ చాట్ లో నెంబర్ పెట్టినా, దానికి మెసేజ్ చేయండి, వి విల్ డిస్కస్ దేర్.
ఓకే సార్.
ఏదైనా ఉంటే అక్కడ మనకి ఇక్కడ టైం సరిపోదు,
అవును సార్.
మనకి ఇచ్చేది 1 అవరే. సిలబస్ ను ఫినిష్ చేయాలని నాకు, మీకు, మాకు కంప్లీట్ గా అని మీకు ఉంటది, కానీ అది సరిపోదు మనకు. ఆఫ్లైన్ అయితే టైం స్పేస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఆ నెంబర్ కు మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి, నేను ఏదున్నా ఐ విల్ రియాక్ట్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
2 క్లాసెస్ మాత్రమే ఉన్నట్లున్నాయి సార్, ఇంకా 5 చాప్టర్స్ వరకు ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్, అవి ఎలా చేద్దాం సార్?
ఇంకా 2 ఉన్నాయా 4 ఉన్నాయా?
మేబీ ఐ థింక్ 3rd వరకు ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటా సార్.
5th 6th కూడా ఉంది అనుకుంటా. 5th 6th సాటర్డే సండేనా?
5 ఉన్నాయి సార్. 5 చాప్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి
అనుకుంటా. వి విల్ ట్రై టు అట్లీస్ట్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ దట్ చాప్టర్స్. మనకి ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే మనకు ఎలా చదవాలి, ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి, అట్లీస్ట్ మనం ఎగ్జామ్ లో ఎలా అటెండ్ చేయాలనే దాని గురించి అయినా మనం టచ్ చేసే ప్లాన్ చేద్దాం. ఎందుకంటే మనకు 10 క్లాసులలో 12 చాప్టర్లు అంటే సాధ్యం కాదు, చాలా వరకు స్కిప్ చేసుకుంటూనే చెప్పాల్సి వస్తుంటుంది కొన్ని సందర్భాలలో.
ఎస్ సార్.
సో మీరు కవర్ చేసుకుంటే మీ దగ్గర ఉన్న మెటీరియల్ కానీ మన టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ కానీ ఫాలో అయితే సరిపోతుంది.
ఓకే
ఇంకేమైనా
సార్.
డౌట్స్ ఉంటే మీరు ఆ నెంబర్ లో అప్రోచ్ కావచ్చు.
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Okay, thank you for your participation. I am concluding the session.
ఎస్ సార్.